Hey guys, Nib Blackwood here from Snowboard Addiction. We are on our weekly training calls, 5 p.m. on the West Coast on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. on the East Coast, live training with me. We're streaming live on YouTube today as well. So if any of you guys missed the session here, you can always catch up by watching it on live stream. Got a couple of our regulars in the house. Got Crean. Oh, we got Dean. We got Chris. We got Elijah. We may have a couple of people join us. Let's see. There's probably some people watching on YouTube as well. These sessions are all about training you guys up. We're doing them every week on the way into winter here, getting you ready for snowboarding, building your legs, building your muscles, building your muscle memory, and answering your questions, anything you guys need. Focus of today's lesson is we're building on last week, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to do board slides, lip slides, front boards, and back lips. Those four. And we're also going to talk about how to slide on different parts of the board. So how to be moving your board around on the feature and where to position your balance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unpin myself so that I can see you guys, so that as we do this, I can critique. Now you guys can obviously do this on a real snowboard. You can do it on our training gear. And if you don't have either, you can just jump around on your feet. Definitely better to have a board, whether it's a real board or a training board, to make it easier for you. Dean, looks like you've got a training board. Elijah is on a full-size snowboard. Okay. Going to be lots of jumping around today. So we're going to start with what we did last week. We're just going to quickly do a very, very short recap on what we did last week, which is some back boards and some front boards. So from here, the rail is behind me. This is backside rail behind me. I want you to jump into backboard, backside board slide, okay? Backside board slide, backboard, exact same thing, different name. Backside board slide, okay? Now, do that again. Backside board slide. Right now we're on the black base piece. This is the easiest way to learn. Once you've got it really comfortable in here, you really want to go to the top piece. We're going to be doing some top piece stuff today. What I want you to do now is I want you to jump all the way back over the board. And we covered this a little bit last week too. Rail is now in front of you. So it's called frontside because if I jumped in 50-50 here, it'd be frontside 50-50. But what we're going to do is we're going to do frontside board slide. So frontside board slide is actually where you're sliding backwards down the rail. Frontside board slide. So do this a couple of times. Frontside board slide. Frontside board slide. And we're really using counter rotation on those tricks. We're going counter rotation in, counter rotation out. Okay. That was a couple of the bits and pieces that we started on last week. What I'm really going to talk about starting off today is sliding on different parts of the board. So what I want you to do is I want you to jump up on the rail. Jump up into 50-50. Jump up where you're balanced. The next step is I want you to jump 90 degrees. Now, don't worry too much about counter rotation yet. Okay, I want you to be balanced here, balanced and relaxed. If you're centered over your board, you should be able to relax. Okay, now I'm just going to come in because I've got Isla in the house. Now, Isla, this is for your dad, or you can do it as well. Don't do it now, but do it later. If you widen your stance out a little bit, it's going to give you more balance. So if you were to bring just another centimeter out on each foot, it's going to give you a slightly wider stance, which is going to give you better balance on the balance bar. Later, Josh. So going back up, I'm at 90 degrees. Now, what I want you to notice here is that my body weight is split between both legs, and my body weight is right over top of the feature. We're now going to move the board. I'm going to move to my back foot. Okay, I'm going to move to my back foot on purpose. So how I did that is I just did a little hop, and I pushed my board towards the nose of my board so that I'm on my back foot. Now, what I want you to notice is that the weight of your body is directly on top of the balance bar. That's all that matters, is where is your body position over top of the balance bar. So when I go from center to tail, my body weight doesn't move. All that moves is my board. All that moves is my board. Okay? Now, back to center. We're now going to go onto your front foot. So I'm going to move my board this way. For me, it's to the right, and I'm on my front foot. I'm on the front. I'm on the nose of my board. Okay. Now check it out. My body weight, you guys can see me on the screen. My body weight, the whole mass of my body, directly on the balance bar. Yes, it's on my front foot, but what really matters is that the weight's over the balance bar. Okay. Back to 2 feet. I'm going to get harder in a sec because what we're going to be doing now is I'm going to go like this. Back foot all the way to front foot. Back foot all the way to front foot and all the way back to back foot. Okay. Moving that board. The board is moving under my body. So my actual weight is not moving. I'm directly up and down over that feature, but I have to use, now if you fall off like I just did, no big deal. Get back balanced. Ideally, you can go like this. Back foot, back foot, center, and stomp it without touching the ground. Try that out. This is a challenging exercise. Back foot, front foot, center. Without falling off, without touching the ground. Back foot, front foot, back foot, front foot, center, and I fell off. Oh, I fell off. That's okay. If you fall off, get right back up. Get right back up. Okay. I'm now going to take this concept and I'm going to give you the next variation of it. I want you to go back to 50-50. Back to 50-50. So my board is lined up with the rail. We're going to start by sliding in the center of the board. Right now, my weight is between my feet. And if I add a bit of counter rotation, watch what happens. Counter rotation, back to 50-50. Board slide, back to 50-50. So try that, and right now we're on the center of the board. So I'm counter rotating upper body against my lower body and back to 50-50. Let's see those arms. There we go, Dean. You're doing them better now. That's better, Dean. Okay. Isla, there we go, Isla. Nice. Good use of the arms, Isla. That's looking really good. Okay. Now, I want you to pay attention to this. Instead of having your weight in the center of your board, I want you to take your weight to the front foot. Now watch what happens when I put my weight over the front foot and add some counter rotation. Look at my board. Can you see what happened? When I put my weight over the front foot on purpose and I counter rotate in, Dean, remember to counter rotate. Use those arms. Counter rotate. Weight over the front foot. Counter rotate and back. You're now sliding over the front foot of your board because you moved that weight and it created a pivot point. It created a pivot point. Pivoting around the front foot, back to 50-50. Now I want you now to take your weight to your back foot. Take your weight to your back foot and counter rotate and watch this pivot point. See how my board is out that way and I'm over this back foot? I am pivoting around that back foot. So my weight's on my back foot, pivoting around the back foot. Okay? Now, when we've been doing this right now, I've been moving your weight over the front foot, moving your weight over the back foot. That's kind of like cheating. That's breaking the physics down. When you do it in real life, that motion happens all at once. So right now, I'm in the middle of my board. Watch this. Middle of my board. Board slide and back. But also now middle of my board. Nose and back. And what I did, and you can't always see this, is I did this motion at the same time as I did the twist. So this is a twist. And if I add twist plus push, I'm now doing that kind of board side movement on the nose of my board. There we go. So you're getting to a point now where you're adding skills together. You're adding counter rotation and you're adding lower body movement together. And either if you fall off, you just get right back up. There we go. Now, when you get it perfectly, you won't need to fall off. You literally will just be here. Watch this. I'm going to go tail. Tail slide. I fell off. Nose slide. Okay, I'm coming in to watch you guys because in a minute I'm going to challenge you. Okay, Isla's on the tail, I see it. Isla's on the nose, I see it. Back on the tail, good. She fell off, that's okay, you get right back up. There, more counter rotation that time. I can see it either when you use more counter rotation, it happens to get that board more 90 degrees, which is good. Here we go. That's it. Now, Isla, let me see one on the center of your board. That's it. That's it. Center of your board, good. Good, okay. Dean, I'm watching you. Let's go tail. Nice. Don't forget about the counter rotation. Okay. Okay, one more time in the tail. That one had good counter rotation at the start, but not so much in the middle. Go to the nose. Go to the nose. So let me show you what you're doing just so you're aware, Dean. So when you're going on, you're in a good counter rotated position right now, but then you're not really transitioning that. When I say not transitioning that, this is what I would do. If you watch my upper body, I'm like, bam, and bam. Really twisting the upper against the lower, so lots of movement. Whereas your ones look a little bit more like this. You're not really allowing that upper body to twist. That's better. That's better, straight away. There we go. Now you're getting more twist straight away. There we go. Good. Good, good, good. Okay, Elijah, are you strapped in? So there we go. Front foot, no problem. Now Elijah's got a skinnier bar. So if he falls off more, it's because he's worse at snowboarding than all you guys. No, I'm just kidding. I'm giving him a hard time. He's got a skinnier bar, so he has to balance a lot. He has to balance a lot more, to be honest. It's definitely trickier. Okay, I'm now going to give you guys a couple of rapid fire exercises before we move on. Rapid fire exercises. Okay, you're on the bar. Do it live time with me. You guys ready? Everyone up on the bar? I'm waiting for Isla. Okay, here we go. Starting off, center of the board. Center of the board and back. And again, center of the board and back. Now we're going to go back foot and back. Front foot and back. Center of the board and back. Back foot and back. And we're going to make it harder. Everybody jump off with the rail in front of them. The rail in front of them. We're now going to jump up, but we're going to try jumping into 3 different positions. We're going to try jumping into the center, jumping into the front foot, jumping into the back foot. Now, we now have this movement. We're adding another movement. We're now adding that movement to the twist to front and back foot. So everyone start with that. Frontside 50-50. Do that. Now we're going to do frontside lip slide to the center of the board. Center of the board. Frontside lip slide, center of the board. 2 feet, one over each side. Frontside lip slide. Now we're going to do what looks like what I would call a true frontside lip slide, which is going all the way onto the front foot. See what I just did? I did the same thing, but I pushed the board out on purpose. Frontside lip slide over the front foot, which is the cool way of doing a front lip. This is how everybody does a front lip who wants to make it look stylish. Is they're jumping frontside over the rail, pushing their board out so that they land on the front foot. Front lip, back out. Okay? The further you push it out, the more style you can add. That kind of tweak where you're kind of extending a leg and leaning out in that direction a little bit. So this is like a front lip right now where I'm putting a bit of style in. Popping out at the end to make it look good. Adding that pop off the end. Elijah, when you're on those rails, you add that pop out, makes you look better. Better control, better style. Front lip, popping out. Popping out. And last one from the front side, front tail. Front side, front tail. It's an easy one. Front tail. We're moving up to the tail, holding that balance, coming back out up forwards. Remembering to include that counter rotation where you counter rotate up, counter rotate back out. Now, I haven't talked about this, but of course you can do all these tricks with rotation as well. The problem is if you do it with rotation, you're going to end up going to fakie. So if I went like this and went tail slide to fakie, tail slide to fakie, it's the same trick. I'm just choosing to come out switch now. You guys can all do that with me. So we're not going to counter rotate. We're actually going to rotate, which means we're actually going to wind up a little bit, tail slide, come out switch. I'm watching you guys. Dean, I'm watching you. Tails. Oh no, that's okay. You went all the way over to lip slide on that one, Dean. So if you do it again, just go tail slide, just onto your back foot. There we go. Yep, that's rotation. Upper body and lower body are moving in the same direction, brings you back out to switch. Now, in snowboarding, on good snowboarders, counter rotation is more common. Counter rotation is more common, but depending on the trick, rotation will go as well. For example, if you want to do a 270 out, you'll continue the momentum around, which we're not learning yet, but we will learn another day. Okay, I want you guys now to jump all the way over the bar so that the bar is on your back side behind you. Backside behind you. Start out with backside 50-50. Backside 50-50, coming out forwards. It's the first trick. Next thing is going to be backside board slide. Right, rails behind us, that's why it's backside. Backside board slide, sliding on the middle of my board. Middle of my board. We're adding that lateral movement to the counter rotation, back out forwards. That's it. Good, Dean. Good commitment to the counter rotation, which is good. One more backside board slide and we'll make it harder. Isla, there we go. Backboard, that's okay. You can jump all the way back over. One more time, Isla. I'm watching you. Backboard, yes. Good one. I'll do one more. Backboard, coming out forwards. We're now going to do two variations. We're going to do it on the front foot and we're going to do it on the back foot. Let's go with front foot first. Backboard, front foot. Backboard, front foot. You don't have to move that far. You still have to move your body weight to be on top of the feature and push your board out that way. Backboard on the front foot. Nice, Isla. That's it. The more you push it out, the more stylish it looks. So if you get low and push it out, it generally adds style. It just looks better. You know, like a tall, extended board slide doesn't look that good. A low, steezed out one looks better, adds more style. That's on the front foot. Let's now go all the way to the back foot. This one's a little bit harder. You've got to push the board all the way over. Definitely a little bit trickier. You've got more movement. That's more movement. Yep, technically this would be called a back blunt or a backside blunt slide because you're going all the way over to your tail. Back, blunt, coming out forwards. Back blunt coming out forwards. That's it. Back blunt, coming out forwards. Now, if you want to grab a drink of water, grab one because I'm about to make your lives more difficult with a bunch more tricks because we're going to be doing the exact same stuff in the opposite direction. I'm grabbing a drink of water. Now, before I move on, does anyone have any questions so far on the stuff that we've been talking about? Make sure to open your microphone if you want to ask any questions or if there's anything you want to recap on so far before I make it more difficult. Because everything we've done so far has been facing forwards, facing down the mountain. We're about to start doing the exact same thing, but facing backwards. So kind of sliding backwards down the hill. We haven't even added the top piece yet. Okay. Okay, what I want you guys to do is I want you to jump up onto the bar, jump up in 50-50. And when you're up there in 50-50 and balanced, we're going to start off easy with our kind of frontside board slide, counter rotating in. You should be able to see my backside, my bum, and I want to see you guys, the back of your body. I should be able to see the back of your body and back to 50-50. That's it. So do that a couple of times. Counter rotate in. Should be showing me the back of your body, counter rotate back. And remember, as you do that, you can always see downhill. That's why you're twisting. You twist, that's it, Dean. So you can always still see where you're going. I can always see, I'm kind of looking down my arm. In fact, my arm is kind of pointed to you guys, and I'm almost looking down the barrel of that arm, back to 50-50. If you stay on the bar every time, that means your balance is perfect. If you're falling off, like Isla, if you're falling off, the balance is not perfectly centered. Now, right now, Isla, you're sliding a little bit on your front foot, which is good, except I want to make sure you can do it on all parts of your board. So right now, we're doing it on the center of the board. So if you jump up into, there we go, on the center, nice. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is we're going to try and do what we did before, where instead of being in the center of the board, I want you to take your weight to the nose of your board. Take your weight over the front foot, and I want you to counter rotate around that front foot. What's happening is you've made a pivot point. So you've made a pivot point where you're balancing over that front foot. Okay, it's kind of a cheating way. This is the cheating way of the physics to be on that front foot. Okay. Now, if you physically take your weight from the center of your board, move it over the front foot, and then try to counter rotate, you'll find that it counter rotates around that point. Same thing, if you now take your weight to your back foot, set up for counter rotation, and counter rotate, you are counter rotating around that point of your back foot. Okay? Now, in real life, this is not how it happens, because in real life, you end up doing compound movements together. What I mean by that is you end up jumping, moving your board at the same time. So I'm now taking off from the center of my board. I'm going to go onto my front foot, but I'm going to move my board in that direction. In fact, I'm going to make it easier for you. I want you to jump up 50-50, jump up 50-50, turn into this, and we're going to practice moving from front foot to back foot. Okay, so ideally you get really balanced. Dean, try to get more 90 degrees. Get that board 90. There we go. Okay, and from here I want you to see, can you go front foot, center, back foot, center. I'm still trying to look where I'm going. Just have a little glance, a little corner of my eye. Front foot, center, back foot. If you touch down, that's okay. I just touched. Back foot, center, front foot, center. And now I'm going to try go the big movements. Back foot, all the way to front foot, all the way to back foot, all the way to front foot, and center. I'm watching you guys. Let's see how you guys can move. Okay, so Isla's on the front foot. There we go. You got it, Isla. Get back up. Get the board to 90 degrees. Okay. There we go. Front foot, center. Back foot, center. Get in there. It's going to take practice. Going to take practice, Dean. Okay, watching you, Dean. Back foot, center. Front foot, center. Dean, you might even benefit by making your stance one notch wider too. The wider stance gives you the just gives you a little bit more balance. Okay, a little bit more balance. Because ideally you want to be super stable. So building those muscles to where you're super stable and you can just balance up here in that position. Elijah, I'm watching you. Front foot. Going to back foot, front foot. Going to back foot, nice. Going back to front foot. Now, you might see he's on a full-size board and he's on a skinnier rail. He is making it harder on himself, which is good. The harder you make it on yourself, the better you're going to be when you actually go snowboarding. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the 50-50 position. And we're going to try from this position to jump into all three. So the easiest one to start with should be the center. Center of your board, that means 1 foot on each side, back to straight. Now I'm going to go front foot. Front foot, back to straight, and back foot, back to straight. Now, what I'm doing is I'm adding movements together. I'm adding that counter rotation movement, but I'm adding the leg movement. So it's either push out the leg to one direction or push out the leg to the other direction as you hop. So as I hop, I'm pushing out the legs, hop, push it back. Hop, push out the legs, hop, push it back. And every single time right now, I'm sliding backwards down the hill, showing I should be able to see the back of your body every time. So you're in that twisted position. Okay. Okay. We're going to make it harder. The next step is have the rail in front of you. Have the rail in front of you. Jump into frontside 50-50. Frontside 50-50 and off. We're now adding another movement. We're adding a frontside 50-50 movement. And from there, we're going to start adding those twists in again. So here we go. Frontside board slide. Frontside board slide. Trying to go over both feet. Both feet and back. Watching you guys. Dean, you're almost going all the way to the back foot there. There we go. That was perfect center of both feet. Nice. Good. Isla, that was perfect center on the board. Good. Frontside board slide. So now what we can do is let's try to do it over the front foot, because the most typical way you'll see front boards in real life is over the front foot. So that over the front foot is actually the most common way you'll see it on a snowboard. Frontside board slide over the front foot. Frontside board slide over the front foot. And as long as your body weight is directly on top of the rail, that's where you stay balanced. If your weight goes too far, you'll fall off the other side. If your weight goes not far enough, you'll fall off the same side you came on. Isla, that was perfect. That was up on the bar. Up on the bar is good. That's front foot. That's the most common way of doing a front board. So what you'll see, make sure you're looking at me, Dean, or somewhat, just the corner of your eye. Corner of your eye, there we go. That's better. I can see when I know you can see me, which is when I can see at least one of your eyes, that's good enough. Okay, and the hardest variety of this one is going all the way to the back foot. Now, so this one looks like this. Pushing it all the way onto the front, onto the back foot. Counter rotating into the back foot, popping back out to land. And they call this trick the front blunt. Front blunt because you're pushing all the way over onto your tail. Okay. So there we go. Isla, you need to push it even further onto the back foot. Push that board all the way over. That's getting better, but you can go further. You can go further. This one takes the most movement, so it's the hardest of these little ones we've been doing right now. Dean, I'm watching you. Pushing into that front blunt. Nice. Dean likes this one. He's comfortable in this one. There we go. Looking good. Sinking in, adding that style. Sinking low, pushing it out. Same thing with Elijah. If you watch Elijah right now, he's pushing it out, sinking into that back foot, adding good style. That's looking good, Elijah. That's looking like a good front blunt. There we go. Isla, you're starting to get that push out. You can even push it further. You can push it further. There we go. There we go. It's okay if you come out fakey. No problem. No problem. Okay, I'm about to get into the last three ones for today. What's up? What's up, Bryn? Do you want to see me doing some training? Okay, this is Bryn, one of my sons. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm doing some balance bar training. We're going to do the exact same three tricks, but we're now doing it from the rail being on our backside. So you can see rail is behind me right now, backside. First thing we're going to do is we're going to do what's called a backside lip slide. So we're going from backside into the lip slide position, 1 foot on each side of the bar, back out. Backside, lip slide, back out forwards. Okay, backside lip slide. So you start with the bar behind you. You jump up into that front board position. There we go, Dean. It's looking good. Here we go, Isla. That's it. Okay, do that again. Everyone do that a few times. Do it a few times. Okay, I want to show you again. Back lip, backside, lip slide, coming back out forwards. So you really got to add that jump, Isla. Add that jump. But really put some effort into the backside's a little bit harder. The rail being behind you makes it a bit more intimidating. You've got to commit into that feature. Okay, we're going to step it up. And we're going to go into what's called back lip. You can come past me, Bex. It's fine. See you guys. Yeah, it's live on YouTube right now. Okay, so we're going back lip again, but we're going all the way to the front foot. And the reason we're going to the front foot is this is the typical way of doing a back lip, is you go as far as you can onto the front foot. The further you go on the front foot, the better this trick looks. So a back lip looks best when you go over to the front foot. So the back lip's quite a tricky one. It involves a lot of movement. Backside, lip slide, coming back out forwards. This is probably the hardest of the variety because you've got to move it a lot. Back lip, back out forwards. Sliding backwards, twisting up your body and moving the board quite a lot. That one there was a back tail, Dean. Back lip goes all the way to your front foot. All the way to your front foot. There we go. Back lip. That's it. A lot of movement. Back lip. A lot of movement to get it all the way over. Okay, and then the slightly easier variety is the back tail. Back tail doesn't require so much movement. Back tail. Back tail, only a small amount of movement. Sink it into that back tail, back out forwards. So that one you're just doing there, Isla, is the back lip. That's all the way to your front foot. Now we can move to your back foot, which is just a small movement. Back tail onto the back foot. Back tail. That's it. Back tail, out forwards. Okay, take a break. Take a break. There's a lot of stuff we covered. Do you guys, any questions on the stuff there so far? Give me a thumbs up if everything's clear. Okay, Dean's clear. Elijah, Isla, I can see. Okay, good, everything's clear. Do you guys want to do a 5-minute jam session where I just throw a bunch of tricks at you and you try to keep up? Yeah? Okay. Okay, so take a break, grab some water. I'm going to throw a lot of tricks at you. All the stuff that we did from today, back lip, back tail, backboard, front board, front lip. I'm going to throw these tricks at you. Your job is to try and stay up with me as I do them. Okay. Might even incorporate some frontside 50-50s into it too. Okay, it's going to get intense. You're about to get sweaty. Okay, let's start. Rail in front. And here we go. Frontside 50-50. Frontside lip slide. All the way to the front foot. Again, front lip. Jumping up. Frontside 50-50, staying on top. Turning the board, being on top and balanced. And here we're going to go. Tail. All the way to nose. All the way to tail. All the way to nose. Back to 50-50 and staying on. Turning into front board where I can see the back of your body, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start by going tail. Whew. And if you fall off like me, just get right back up. I'm going tail. Now I'm going to nose. Now I'm going to tail. Now I'm going to nose. And back to 50-50. Back to 50-50. And coming out with the rail on your back side. We're going to go backside 50-50. Now we're going to go backside board slide, center of the board. Backboard, center of the board. And remember your counter rotation. Backboard, counter rotation out. That's it. Now we're going to go back blunt. Backside, blunt slide. Now here's one. Board slide to fakie. Board slide to fakie. There's no counter rotation. This now uses rotation. Board slide to fakie. Good. Switch frontside 50-50. Switch lip slide. Switch front lip. Switch tail slide back to normal. Switch tail slide back to normal. And here we go. Back lip. Back lip. It's a backside lip slide. Back lip. I did it again. Back lip. Okay. Back tail. Back tail. That's it. Jump all the way over the bar. Bar is now on your front side. And we're going to go front board. On our front foot, traditional way of doing a front board. Front board on your front foot. We're going to do two of them. Front board on the front foot. And now we're going to finish off our last trick with a front blunt. Front blunt all the way to that back foot. Pushing it out. Front blunt. Pop it out. Unstrap your bindings. Grab a drink. High five. You guys did good. Nice. Thanks, Ala. All right. That was an intense session. That was 40 minutes of jumping around, learning all these different variations. And honestly, this is still basic tricks. This is basic tricks still. We really only covered board slides, lip slides, front boards, and front lips. Those four variations, and we just did a couple of moving around between the front foot and back foot. We mainly focused on counter rotation. Counter rotation in, counter rotation out. I threw a couple of little ones at you there, board side to fakie. That's when you use rotation. We haven't even really talked about that this much yet, but we'll get into that. Awesome. Next week's session, we're going to be here same time, Tuesday, 5 o'clock on the West Coast, 8 o'clock on the East Coast. We're going to be talking about 180s. So when I say 180s, it's going to be both about jumping and about jibbing. So we're going to be talking about rotation 180s, counter rotation 180s, how to do 180s off boxes and rails as well is included in that. Cool. Same time next week. Um, I will leave the Zoom room open for any of you guys that want to ask more questions off air, but I'm going to turn off the YouTube live stream for the meantime. This is our Snowboard Addiction live sessions. Hope you guys can join us next week and following weeks. I'm Neville Atwood from Snowboard Addiction. Our goal is to improve your riding.